This video is only meant for educational and entertainment purposes, and I will not be responsible for any of the actions that you take or the consequences that you face. Hello people, it's day 14, that's 2 weeks of being consistent, and I'm happy I am doing it. Great. So today I will be talking about death again. Of course, it's a never-ending topic. It's a fascinating one. So yesterday, when I was about to sleep, I was lying on my bed. I often felt so that way when I was alone. And of course, I have the knowledge that I am going to die one day. So it sometimes bothers me. So the feeling that I experienced yesterday is what I wanted to share about. So I was in my room. I watched Joker trailer, whatever. If you would have watched my previous video, you know it. And yes, so I went to sleep. I was laying on my bed, and well, I thought suddenly this thought hit me. As time is passing by, you're just growing older, getting closer to death. So you are never at one moment, so you can't cherish that and ignore the fact that one day you will not exist anymore. So what happened was that all of a sudden I felt like I was not there anymore because time didn't make any sense of me not existing anymore. It certainly is kind of scary sometimes. I mean, see, when you're around people or when you're socially consciously aware of your surroundings and etc., death is not a topic that might scare you a little bit, but not like you completely understand it when you're in that state. So when you are in a state of not interacting with your surrounding, basically just like how I was alone all by myself on my bed, I was not interacting with the surrounding. It's just my body was just doing its daily functions, and my brain all of a sudden got this thought. So at that state, accepting that was a little difficult because it's scary, all of a sudden you don't exist. Because time won't make sense as you grow older, you see. One day, I keep coming back to this, that one day when you're lying on your bed, it doesn't matter whatever great you achieved, whatever you have not achieved or what not. It's that feeling that you won't exist anymore is sometimes scary. And that's exactly what I felt yesterday. And because of that feeling, I don't know, I just felt this impulse throughout my body, throughout my nerves. Like, I can't really explain how I really felt, but like my entire body was being stimulated. I don't know, my brain was bloated and my heart rate increased, and it was it was crazy, It's amazing how the outside world can keep you completely off track of the reality, Yeah, so I keep coming. I did make kind of theory. You can make your delusion your reality. The more strong a delusion is, that becomes your reality, or that shapes your reality. I mean, you get it, right? We all um, we all uh, interconnect ourselves with the outside world for our presence, right? And yes, so coming to that, that's the next topic I would like to speak about. The interrelationship between you and the outside. To be honest, there's nothing called as you and this separate film between you and the outside. You are a part of the outside, and the outside is a part of you. And yes, this is something um, sounds something like uh, what Alan Watts said in his book. I don't really remember the name, but yes, he also keeps referring to that, and it makes sense because you are so dependent on the outside world for your uh, life, because outside, okay, fine, I just said that there's no difference between them, but then because you're conscious, you feel that there's a difference between the outside and the inner. So the outside mostly influences what you do. Like I am right here uh, as one part of chance that's been going through my life, and this is how I am. My external circumstances differ from another person who had different surroundings, and he also had his life was also a chance, and there he is. There's a drastic difference between us, but this drastic difference is caused because of the outside world. So your life basically is dependent on the outside world, because if you have to be there, there should be something called the outside, and if something called the outside should be there, you should be there. And that's what Alan Watts discusses about in that book. It's a great one. You should have a read. And there's also this explanation given by Alan Watts' friend, I guess. There's a class, I'll put the link in the description. You can watch it. It's a good one. It's a good watch, of course. Okay, so yeah, that's the interrelationship thing. And right now, as of the time passing now, I don't really feel much more, like nothing that I feel sad about or nothing that I feel happy about. It's just that I'm being in this presence, just doing what I should do. Sometimes it happens this way, right? Sometimes you're very happy, sometimes you're very sad, sometimes this way you're just there, right? And this is the one who's talking to you is just one part of me. There's a million and billion and trillion parts of me inside. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I noticed one thing, how much our brain or whatever it is that makes up stories, you see. For example, let's say you fell in love with a girl or whatever, your brain automatically creates a story, right? Again, it comes to the relationship between outside world and you. You somehow create the story. I mean, the end product is what is perceived by you. For example, say you're getting married or something, but then the process in between is left out, and what's after that, I mean after the marriage is left out. It's the case with anything. For example, let's say I cleared JEE, okay, the one of the toughest exams. The process is not you know uh, constructed in your thoughts. These stories that come up in your brain lack the fundamentals, but the product is always perceived, and you don't know what to do next. I don't know, this is strange, right? You directly come to the product, and you have no control of trying of building that base, of building that process to get to that product. I don't know, your brain somehow makes it up. It's crazy, right? Yeah, that's something I noticed. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.